Hello, we are Adventura, and today we are back with some more Love Bites. We will be checking out Above the Black Sea, which I was getting confused with Under the Red Sky. So I'm very excited about this. I know a lot of people in this week's polls, this song did not win. It got second, but there was enough hype behind it that I was kind of excited to check it out. So that's what we're going to do today. Also, we are going to have a little bonus episode tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's a little bit correct me if I'm wrong. I would say it's a little bit not our normal alley. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. So stay tuned in for that.
It's a side quest for sure.
It's a side quest. Yes, absolutely. To be fair, most of these bands that we're listening to started off as side quests. So
I mean this entire channel was a side quest at
yes,
first. So
absolutely. So anything else before we dive in?
no, let's do it.
Let's do it. Guiding stuff. Yeah.
I mean, gives me goosebumps. Ridiculous. Oh,
Nice.
oh. I mean, oh. So first of all, I had to do. I still don't have a full picture of, and I'll ask because this whole memorial for the warrior soul.
Hmm.
I got kind of curious, and it's on video on demand. I might have to buy it because man,
It's fair.
with that intro and everything, like I'm trying to remember if this. I mean, obviously, you never need a reason or an excuse to honor the fallen and
Yeah.
soldiers and whatnot, like they're doing. But it was there's it, did anything specifically happen in 23 to
Yeah, and
nudge
I'm not
this?
even sure this
You
is
know?
I think saying soldiers may be slightly Americanizing it too, because
Well,
that's very
sorry,
much our culture. So
right?
I don't know if it's and it could be. It absolutely could be. But I do also just want to shout that out because
That's
we
fair.
in America we have a
Well,
very strong soldier memorial.
yeah. Sorry. Replace word to whatever it should be,
Yeah,
warrior,
let's see.
etc. But like, I was wondering if there was something that really inspired, like a specific event that inspired this tour, or and maybe it
Hmm.
was just the name of the album. I was just curious.
Um, let's let's I'm gonna take a second. We'll take a second and be right
Okay.
back. Okay, so that was pretty inconclusive. I'm sorry about that. I guess no time really elapsed for you, so congratulations. That was a few minutes for us. The main thing, I mean, it took place on, I don't want to say this incorrectly, so let me go back here for a second. Which hall? Where did it go? It took place at the Hitomi Memorial Hall. So that may just be where the memorial aspect of it comes in. But this is also where you get like soldier stand solitarily. There's definitely some themes of the
Yeah.
warrior, the soldier in it. Now I don't know the thing that is still a bit of a disconnect for me because again, going back to the American roots, especially where we're from in America, it's like we there's a pretty heavy emphasis on respecting soldiers and military, right? That's just kind of a established thing
Yeah.
here. And that's not
Most of the
necessarily
time.
true for most of the time. Yes. I mean it's yeah, yes. But that may not be true of the Japan or this section in Japan. Like not all, Japan is not a monoculture, obviously. But there may be some more um what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a hard word. Metaphorical stuff going on here. Because like even Soldier Stand Solitarily it's been a hot minute since we've reacted to it, but if I remember correctly, it did come off somewhat metaphorical. It didn't have to just be a straight, fallen soldier idea. So, or soldier
Right.
stand solitarily. So, I think that maybe kind of the vibe of this whole thing. With that said, and I'm sure I'm gonna put the invite out, and we may get a few frustrated people being like, "I've already explained this to you," so I'm sorry if that is the case. But yeah, definitely fill us in and kind of the history of like why that name in particular. I think that's what is kind of intriguing to us. Unless there's something else you want to specifically ask.
No, no, I guess I was, yeah, that would be the main thing.
Yeah.
And sorry if y'all have already told us. We get a lot of comments.
Do I
So
and to be fair, I'm the one who reads them all, so
it's true.
it's
All credit to you.
it would be all me. So but
Yeah.
again, we
So
do get a lot of comments, which don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful for. I try to heart all of them, the ones that like I read. I don't get a chance to all read heart all of them because
what? You
there's a
have
lot
a
of them.
life?
I sometimes. um
80% of the time.
80% of the time it works every time. Uh
You're right.
okay, anything before we dive into some lyrics here?
No. I mean, though. I mean, those guitar solos.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't remember
we
if I
have
shouted
to.
them out, but
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
especially that first one. There's
Hmm.
something. Oh, I felt that one, man. I mean, I think there's really three of them, and
Yeah,
they were all amazing. They always are, but there was something special about that first one. It was a little bit
yeah.
slower than they usually do. It was. it had a good feel to it. So
Agreed, agreed.
yeah,
And even
but
in this one, the drummer actually stuck out a little bit more to me than usual too. I thought there were some really special moments there as well. But yeah, the guitar is
yeah,
definitely set center stage for sure.
yep,
Um,
yep.
okay. So
Lyrical breakdown.
lyrical breakdown. So uh basically I'm just gonna kind of focus on the big things. So there's a lot of just this kind of badness inside, and this idea of we need to kind of release that out up high, so higher and higher. The first opening lines: age of oddities, suffocating with all these strings pulling me, fit into the mold of this twisted world, this is how it's ought to be. So it's this idea of like basically being like controlled and manipulated and really controlled by the world, and not it's I think this is how it's ought to be is a little tongue in cheek, I would say, just based on the rest of the lyrics. So
Fair enough.
and then kind of the repeated chorus is higher and higher, higher than the heavens. Now's the time to pour your blood and heart into the sky. Higher and higher, far above the heavens. Go beyond the silent clouds that promise nothing but the end. So there's kind of this weird like release thing going on, and then
Yeah,
stylistically it changed. There's another little verse in there, but I'm going to kind of jump to the end where she, a lot of this song, she is singing in her kind of lower tone for like the first two verses. It's just kind of, not that she doesn't hit some higher notes, but then in the third verse she really like does I guess it's a key change most likely, or she's just singing higher. Not that musically gifted to know the difference. So sometimes I am. Sometimes I can tell a good key change. I don't know if this was a key change or if it was just she's singing an octave or whatever higher. So um but that's where she goes into, in a moment I'll fade away, as long as it will bring us a new day. I will take this in as my fate. Just let me leave something proving my life. In a moment I'll fade away, as long as it'll bring you a new day. I am thankful for this, that I am thankful this was my fate. Just let me leave reason to my life. So there is this huge sacrifice idea coming through on this one, which does play into the soldier mentality
yeah.
mentioned earlier for sure. But yeah, that one's where like just let me leave a reason to my life. That's the one that she is just like yelling, that gave us goosebumps, and that's what she's screaming at that point. So
That's
is awesome. It
that
was a
was an
beautiful
epic
song.
moment. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, one question I'm going to pose this also to the audience, because Under the Red Sky, if I remember correctly, was written about the atomic bombs effectively and kind of the aftermath of them. So I wonder, and it could just be I'm reading too much into Under the Red Sky and Above the Black Sea, but those seem very related to me. So is there a connection between those two songs, or am I just being too tried to make a connection that's not there? That is the question I want to pose to everybody, because
We
I'm
do
very
love
curious.
connections in music
We do, we
and
really
stuff.
do.
So yeah,
But
it's fair. But
yeah, anything else?
no, another fantastic song.
Absolutely. So,
Freaking
with that
awesome.
said, if there's any other Love Bite songs y'all want us to check out, definitely leave those in the comments. We've been listening to Love Bites and Bandmade for a while, but if there's a song that you know we haven't listened to, just put it in there. I mentioned this a lot, but I have a little spreadsheet that I update on how many things get recommended, and those are what make it to the poll that gets to pick what we listen to the next week. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to y'all later.